explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and happy Friday. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful start to your weekend or almost weekend. Friday, I'm thinking about making my new kind of call-in-ish show. So I put the StreamYard link in the chat. I'll do it again. If anybody wants to call in, I'm going to get through our sponsors, and I have a couple stories lined up, but I do want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. You guys have to, it's bring your own topic. Try to keep it relatively short, no life stories, nothing obscene or vulgar, but yeah, let's do that again today. I'll post it in the chat, post it throughout. But what do you guys want to talk about? Bitcoin's recovering, which is nice. Everybody was kind of freaking out for a little bit. Bernie Bright made a really good point. I don't know if he posted this publicly yet. Let me see if I can find what he said again, because I thought it was great. Hold for processing. I should have had this ready before. Oh, there's a lot of people online who are like, when metals crash, it's manipulation. But when Bitcoin crashes, it's a rug. Bitcoin's a rug, and it's going to zero. But somehow that's not manipulation. Isn't that funny how that works? Christy75 says, took my lunch break at the perfect time. Get to catch you live. Already see somebody in the chat. In the bottom here, Katie Felt, I'll bring you on here in a second. Let me just quick get to our sponsors of the day's show. And then I'll probably get through my first couple stories. So it might be like 5-10 minutes before I actually start bringing people on. But let's do some native path first up. All right, Badlands fam, I want to take a second to talk about native path collagen. First of all, collagen isn't just about nails or skin. As we get older, our bodies stop producing as much of this critical protein, starting in our late 20s, as a matter of fact, and that's when joints can start aching, recovery slows down, and everything just feels harder. The specific collagen is grass-fed, pasture-raised, and designed to support joints, bones, mobility, skin, hair, all the stuff we tend to lose with age. No weird taste, no complicated routine. Just add it to your coffee or smoothie and done. It's just part of your daily routine. Right now, you can get a special bundle deal at a fraction of the retail price and free shipping. This offer is only available at getnativepath.com/badlands. That's getnativepath.com/badlands. If you've been thinking about supporting your body instead of just pushing through the aches, go check it out. The link's in the show notes and in the description of this video. Again, the site getnativepath.com/badlands. Spetzel in the chat says, the Bitcoin maxis have told everyone repeatedly that Bitcoin isn't and can't be manipulated, so don't believe them. No, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of the people who say like it's just, I'm pointing out the silver maxis. All maxis are kind of annoying, if you ask me, in one way or another. Gosh, my hair is getting so long. I need a haircut. So I think I might have a haircut scheduled for next week. Oh my gosh, my mom's in the chat. She's going to call in. My mom says, can I call in too? Talk about your life, how long you sucked your thumb. I think I've been pretty open about how long I sucked my thumb. I sucked my thumb until I was in like 3rd grade or something. I needed a special brace to like in my mouth to stop. It was that bad. Elfboy is very excited about my lighting today. It's because it's not so bright outside. I always have the window open, and today it's just not so bright. We have one more sponsor today. I absolutely love these guys. Things of Holding. We debuted these guys a couple days ago. Welcome to Things of Holding, where 3D printed chaos meets professional grade sarcasm. This tiny shop, run by one highly opinionated nerd, specializes in snarky magnets, savage desk companions, and gifts that roast harder than your group chat. Need a magnet that calls you out? A tiny object with more attitude than your ex? Perfect. You're home. Everything is printed in-house on mighty bamboo lab machines using quality filament built to survive drops, cats, and minor emotional spirals. They make things that make you laugh, personality you can physically hold, and sarcasm as a fully recognized love language. And yes, meet the legend, the F-bomb jar. You know those moments when an F-bomb is absolutely justified, but you don't want to set off a chain reaction? Drop it in the jar. Silent, contained, deeply satisfying. Deploy responsibly or don't. They don't judge. They enable. Small shop, big personality, slightly unhinged creativity. Grab something fun, laugh a little, and help make the world weirder in the best way possible. Thingsofholding.com. Support this America First small business. And you guys know I've been doing the fuck bomb jar throughout the week. Richard Rohr, John, as a co-founder, I'd like to voice my displeasure with the wait mom's calling. Can we please quiz your mom, bro? Hey, if she wants to call in, it's free game. Real quick, couple stories before we get to, I have two people in the background now, including Matt Trump, the fake Trump. We'll get to him here in a second. Let's start with this. No update on the Doge website. Silver is at 77, up a little bit. 78 now. Bitcoin up to 71. Oh, it's back down to 69. So back and forth. Give me a whiplash. And then no update on the presidential website, but we will go through a little bit later the TrumpRx stuff that got released yesterday. Katie, if you're ready, I'll bring you on. I saw you there for a second. Now you're off again. So if you want, well, I'll just bring you on. Katie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm having a hard time hearing you, though.
You are? Okay.
I have like an add-on still. So I'm hearing. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I found it very ironic that the guy who was being charged with the Benghazi thing was arrested today after the Clintons are supposed to be going in front of Congress to testify. I just thought it was like a whole ironic situation, and I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, we were going to get to that story too. The Benghazi person got like so. I'll take you out here, Katie, and talk about this for a little bit. They thanks for the call, by the way. They got the Benghazi guy, or one of the Benghazi people. Which how come we haven't gotten this guy before? Like, why now? Is it all because of Biden? Is that what we're blaming on? It almost feels a little bit like pacification, but it is cool. Like, it's cool to see justice brought. Patel says that the alleged terrorist in the 2012 Benghazi attack, extradited to the U.S., will face charges after more than a decade of American pursuit. Al-Bakush landed in Virginia earlier this morning and is in custody. So there we go. I wonder what evidence we have linking him to Benghazi. I also wonder, is this in any way, like, is he talking? Is he going to talk about who hired him? Other people behind it? I don't know. I'm kind of giving this one the 72-hour rule because it just broke this morning. Let's bring on Matt Trump. Matt, how you doing, dude?
Great. How are you? You can hear me, right?
I can hear you all right.
All right, great. It's great to be here. I think this is my first time on, and it's great to see everybody in the chat that I've been seeing all week too. I've been dropping by a lot of the shows this week, and really wanted to get a sense of the Badlands community as a whole. And it was a really great thing to do. I really have a much clearer sense of the people out there that are in the chat right now, and that's fantastic. Now, I did have a question I wanted to raise today as part of the general discussion of current events, which is that this idea that we're on the cusp, I think, of connecting with a lot of that word we hate to use, normies, but there's people who are open to us at this point. And this SAVE Act has gotten people nervous because of this issue of that you're going to have to go get your birth certificate or passport in order to vote. And, you know, it may be a reasonable requirement, but as far as friction in the system, that's going to be big. And so it's sort of like, all I had really to say back would be that, well, I trust Donald Trump, you know, and he wants us to do this, but I feel like I need something more deep to understand this? Is it just an opening salvo? We'll start with this, and then we'll accept real IDs, as you know, or what are we? How are we going? I don't know the best thing to do here, so just want to get people's opinions about that, and yours too, John.
We should talk about that. Before we talk about that specifically, why do you think we're on the cusp of normies being more receptive, or it feels that way? Is it because of the Epstein stuff, you think?
It was happening before that. That will help, definitely. But I could just see the trend. It feels like there's a loosening of the fabric of the coherence of the block of anti-Trump opinion that's really kept the media in, it's because they watch the mainstream media, but I think that they're beginning to disengage from that.
Sure. Do you have a lot of normies in your sphere, your circle of friends?
Yeah, probably more than most Badlanders do. I think I sort of make it my niche. Almost everybody I know in my family, the Trumps, including the Trumps, tend to be normies.
Wow.
And my high school friends, which I'm still in contact, and my college friends, and I see them. Where I see them lately is on LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Some of the most radical ones are on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn it hasn't been political mostly, but I've noticed the people on LinkedIn they're starting to like posts or say, well, I'm not usually political, but this I have to speak out about this, and it was about the Minneapolis stuff. But on the other hand, I'm getting vibes through the culture and from some specific people, key people in my circle of friends of normies, including a Republican who was a never Trumper, lived in Omaha, and a great friend. He's sort of tax cut guy. He's just a normal guy, runs a business, and but he just hated Trump because Trump was a bully, and he was screaming at me. I tell the story on my show that he was after the 2020 election when I said, "Oh, it's stolen," and he was screaming at me over the phone, in part because he was so disturbed that I was insane. That it's like, I've known you for all this time, and he was almost wanting to cry because he thought I was crazy. And I said, no, I watched the fraud happen live, and I'm telling you. But these are the people now who are, I think, becoming open to the idea that they've been lied to. Certainly the COVID thing was a loosening of that. There's people sort of, gee, was that the right thing to do after all? And boy, that really did throw everybody's lives into a big pit out of which we have yet to sort of emerge in the culture.
Yeah.
That's big. That was a big thing. The people sort of wondering what COVID was. But I think it's the momentum of, a lot of it is the momentum of Trump's administration right now. He's just almost seems he have a mandate from heaven to be doing these things, and to be succeeding, and that creates a psychological effect, I think, in people to say, well, maybe I'm not. He was supposed to be just defeated all the time, just defeated, turn back, and that's not happening. And I think people are sort of like, what? Maybe I don't really know what's going on.
Sure.
I think that's where it is.
That's interesting. I always wonder what's going to get through to these people, and every now and then I come around to like, maybe we don't get through to them at all. Maybe it doesn't matter, because a lot of these people, these normies, they're getting their news from the mainstream media, and they're not covering Trump in a positive light most of the time, especially the left-leaning mainstream media. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think a lot of the stuff, like the financial stuff, is where Trump's going to really get through to some of these people. And then also, as more lies get exposed, I think the election one could be a big one. But when it comes to the SAVE Act, I don't love it. Like, I know Trump's pushing it, but Trump has pushed bullshit before that he didn't really, care about, whatever. If having an ID requirement to vote, that's a good step. But then also, like, we're still giving IDs to how many illegals? Like, anybody can get an ID. And I don't think it totally fixes things. And that's the concern that I have, is like, we still need to get to the bottom of the machines. We need to get to the bottom of the ballot harvesting. We need to get to the bottom of so many different things, and just putting a Band-Aid of the SAVE Act over everything, that seems like a uniparty op to like distract us. Like, okay, we fix things now we can trust our elections again, when in reality that's it's probably just going to be the half measure that keeps us in this cycle for much longer than we need to be. You know, all the worst people when the uniparty is pushing something, to me that's like, okay, well, this is not good for us. Like, they're not going to do anything that actually damages themselves. So I don't know. There's something fishy about it.
Yeah, the Trump support does not seem like it's one of those things that just is guttural in him, you know, about other issues like the border and things that he would get up in front of a crowd and really just, you know, lay into the principles of it. I think we can all agree on secure elections somehow. We have to achieve that.
Yeah.
But I think you brought out a very important point, was that Trump threw away his negotiating power about this bill to a large degree with the resolution of the resolution of the shutdown, and that does not seem like something he would do normally if he really cared about this particular bill being passed.
Yeah, it's not gonna. I don't see how it happens. The Democrats got everything they wanted. They opened up the government, and then this whole DHS thing where they stalled it for 2 weeks and they came out with this 10-point demand letter. They have no reason to keep funding it, because if at the end of the day the Republicans, the red team, doesn't agree, then they get their ultimate goal of shutting the whole thing down, or at least the discretionary spending of it. It was so dumb. But I mean, there's got to be an ulterior motive here. Yeah,
Trump would not do this under normal negotiating circumstances. From everything that we know about him, that this would be, you know, he would have gamed this out really well. So, yeah, we'll see.
But I appreciate you calling in, man. What do you got on the docket for your show tonight?
Well, I was going to talk about that. Georgia. I need to dig into the timeline of the Georgia runoff article that CanCon published, the bombshell that I know you helped with. You mentioned that you had tried to sort of pump up the conclusions a little bit. I have just woken up from a long slumber on the election issue, honestly.
Yeah.
CanCon was talking about this morning on their show. Like it was so easy to get demoralized after a year and a half after the 2020 election, being here in Arizona, having watched my vote, you know, being stolen live, and then being so excited on January 6th that Arizona was going to be the first state to have the electoral votes challenge, and then to have that sort of not turn out the way we hoped for. But we still kept going, and for a year and a half. But at some point, I just disengaged, and I thought, well, whatever happens, happens. And lately, what's happening in Georgia feels to me set off some signal in me that maybe it's time to pay attention to this again. So that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to try to do a deep dive about where we are with the Fulton County thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think it is a good time to like re-up on where we've been at with the election stuff, because we've been trying for so long to get to the bottom of it, and now we're finally getting some movement. And they are freaking out, absolutely freaking out over Tulsi Gabbard, which I think is a good reverse indicator of what she represents. Like, they are, when they're scared of something like this much and everybody's in unison freaking out in the mainstream media about a single person, that person is a threat to them. And I think what she's doing is going to be, hopefully, I don't want to be on the rug too far, but I'm on the rug a little bit. Very excited.
Yeah, I'm on the rug. I might as well admit it. And if it gets pulled again, then shame on me, I suppose.
Yeah. But at one of these times, Trump is going to like not let the rug be pulled. You know, if he is who we think he is, and he's going to do what we think he's going to do, one of these rugs is going to be real or not a rug. Yes. I guess I don't know if it's,
believe that.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this, but I think we're getting close. He was hopefully briefed maybe today, or I think they said this week he was going to be briefed by DNA Tulsi Gabbard regarding the machines and stuff. So I hope we get that report soon. But I appreciate you calling in, Matt. What time's your show?
It is tonight. It's 7:00 my time, right? 9:00 Eastern.
Awesome. Right before OnlyLands. Cool.
Yes.
Well, thanks for calling in. We will maybe see you tonight on OnlyLands if you're bored after your show. Join
it's
us
like
again.
going to the locker room after the game. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good time. Appreciate you calling, man.
All right. Bye, John.
See ya. Awesome. Yeah, the SAVE Act thing, I know that's being pushed heavily. We also had the new MEGA Act, MEGA Act, that none of the provisions of that, none of the important ones anyway, would even be implemented until 2027. So like, what's the point? But yeah, I'll post the link here in a little bit to have you guys call back in. I want to get through a couple other stories. One of the rugs will be wall-to-wall carpeting. Filibuster nuke. That's been a fun little psyop, hasn't it? The filibuster. Everybody's like yelling at John Thune to end the filibuster. John Thune refuses to do it, and I don't think he's going to do it. Maybe he will, but it's just, I don't know, like, hey, government, please do this one thing that we need to fix all the government. Just doesn't make sense. And yeah, so it has been fun having Matt Trump in the chats this week. What else can we talk about? Oh, Trump posted a video, and the left and everybody's like freaking out because they're saying Trump's racist. Let me see if I can find the video that he posted. Let's see. I think this is the one on. I need the video because I guess he deleted it from True Social. Yeah. So here, I think this might be the full video here. I didn't actually have a chance to watch it when it was up. But this is what everybody's freaking out about, I think.
Now, look, if you want to take...
I don't want Steven Crowder. Give me the full video, guys. Yeah, this is it.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
I mean, I think that's hilarious. That is hysterical. And guys, it's Black History Month. Come on now. That gives us a free pass, doesn't it? Like, nobody can be called racist during Black History Month. I'm pretty sure that's why it's a thing. So let's relax a little bit. But no, the left, they're doing their whole race bait, clickbait bullshit. Everybody's freaking out. Even Tim Scott came out and was like, I can't believe he did that. Tim Scott says, the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. Tim Scott slams Trump for post depicting Obamas as monkeys. Depicting black people as monkeys or apes is a centuries-old racist trope. Senator Tim Scott fiercely condemned a social media post shared by President Donald Trump late Thursday depicting former President and Lady Barack and Michelle Obama as monkeys. Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of the White House, he wrote on X Friday. President should remove it. The post, a minute-long video rife with conspiracy theories about voting machines in the 2020 election, cuts to a short clip of the Obamas in monkey form dancing to the tune of The Lion Sleeps Tonight. I guess that was the original video. So the video I played isn't even what he shared on social media. Is my understanding that correctly? There's a different one. Let's try this again. Video, Trump, Obama. Trying to see what the hype is all about. See, everybody's sharing like just the 2 seconds of them being monkeys at the end. I want to see the whole thing. Okay, so here we go. This is so weird. Okay, we're watching another video. Hold for processing.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
So I think what happened is the video that he posted like switched to the next video or something that was in line or whatever. I mean, come on. It posting this is not racist. If you think that this is racist, you're the racist one. It's on you. It's not anybody else's fault. You're the racist. Media Matters, you're welcome for some content. I'm sure I'll see something I said posted there. But again, I have 2 black friends. Both of them are here on Badlands. And that means I have a hall pass. I can say whatever I want. And it's not racist, especially during Black History Month. We're good, guys. We're good. The bunny, he's been dropping some spicy stuff that makes me giggle, but not rug standing for this bunny. Spetzel says ESNS DS 200 and 400 are what Texas uses. Yeah, this is just funny stuff, but the media is going to freak out. It's unfortunate that Trump actually deleted the post. That's what's unfortunate. You can't bend the knee. You don't bend the knee to the mob. You lean in. I would have posted the whole video if I was Trump instead. The post drew widespread backlash from Democrats, but the criticism from Scott, a longtime ally, once viewed as a potential vice presidential candidate and the only black Republican in the Senate, is particularly notable. We only have 1 black Republican in the Senate. Who's the racist now? Why aren't you guys voting for other black Republicans? Why aren't you guys fake voting? Whoever controls the fake election system is the racist ones because we only have 1 black Republican senator. That's what we need to be going after. Instead of Trump for a video, which he clearly did not make the video. So funny. Anyway. In a statement issued before Scott's criticism, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt dismissed the backlash and said the clip came from a longer video that showed Trump as the Lion King and depicted top Democrats as jungle characters, among others, Illinois J.B. Pritzker. They're all shown as elephant, boar, meerkat, giraffe, respectively. But none of the other Democrats was included in Trump's post. It's from an internet meme, she said. Everybody's telling them to take the thing down. These guys are just virtue signaling assholes. Nobody cares. Trump is clearly not a racist. Nobody cares. But they're going to make it a thing like they always do. Ricky Irish says, I don't think it's racist. I just think there are better ways to go to Obama. It's too cheap. Probably. I think Tim Scott's a pussy now, if I'm being honest. Like, grow up here, dude. We should, if things go the way they should, we should have 0 black Republicans in the Senate by the time his next election comes around. Because this is dumb of him. Everyday Wins 5AC says, got to bury the shit out of the Epstein files. All noise. Yeah. The Epstein files, like, there's some interesting stuff in there, but there's also a lot of noise in the Epstein files. Like, everybody was freaking out overnight because there was this. Let me see if I can find it. It's already been debunked, but well, let's do Epstein Fortnite. Everybody's just so desperate to have it be true that he's alive. And I'm not saying he could be. I don't know. But everything that we've seen as evidence of him being alive is, in my opinion, been debunked. But this is the one everybody's looking at. There's an email here where he has a receipt. It says Little Saint Jeff 1. They're trying to confirm that's his account. And then there's this Fortnite account that's Little Saint Jeff 1. And it's been playing recently, like a couple days ago. Based on the current 2026 Chapter 7 timeline, the next major update is Chapter 7 Season 2. Chapter 6 Season 4 launched in August 2025, and the game is now in Chapter 7. So like, oh my gosh, he's still alive because somebody was active on this account that he owned or whatever. But not to ruffle any feathers here with the conspiracy theorists, but it has been debunked. If you can consider this a debunking. Fortnite came out and posted a response saying that the user, here, I'll just read it. Hey, official Fortnite here. This was a ruse by a Fortnite player. A few days ago, an existing Fortnite account owner changed their username from something totally unrelated to Little Saint Jeff 1, following the revelation of Little Saint Jeff 1 as the name in YouTube. These Fortnite trackers only display your current name, not any prior changes to it. We have no record of the subject's email addresses referenced in the public document existing in the Epic account system. Since the public document releases, people have created Fortnite accounts with similar looking email addresses and usernames. So debunked. But I'm sure people will ignore that. Rebelnator, I can't say that. I can't. Not yet. We're not ready for that. We're not ready for me to say that. I can say Niger, where my Niger's at, but I can't say the other one. Team Smooth. You know, if the video had the Obamas as white rabbits, they would have yelled racism too. Ricky Irish, John, they're all in Witsec. Come on. Yeah, that's what everybody likes to say. Polymathanon, he's not gay? Who are we talking about not being gay? Tim Scott is probably gay. Gotcha. I didn't say that, by the way, so don't sue me. Sue whoever said that in the chat. I'm just reading it. TrumpRx brought to you by... Oh, yeah, should we get to that story? Where is it at? Yeah, by the way, this is showing that he did remove it. But let's talk. Here we go. Trump formally launches TrumpRx that lowers prescription drug prices. The White House said Americans purchasing prescription drugs through the portal will see lower costs on 40 of the most popular and expensive medications in the country, including Ozempic, Wegovy, which helps treat diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. It's weird Ozempic's on there. I thought the thing was dangerous. Why are we making that cheaper? Anyway, President Donald Trump formally launched TrumpRx.gov website, which is a direct-to-consumer portal that is considered instrumental in helping his administration lower prescription drug costs in the United States. The White House said Americans purchasing prescription drugs through the portal will see lower costs on 40 of the most popular drugs. The monthly injectable dose of Ozempic going from $1,000 per dose to $350. I didn't realize it was that much. The new program also gives Americans major savings on fertility treatment, stating that Americans are set to save more than $2,000 per cycle of fertility drugs on average. I think that's great. Here's the website. TrumpRx. Find the world's lowest prices on prescription drugs. And thanks to President Trump. Ooh, I like how the website does that. Look at that. The globe spins. When does it pop up? What country's at the top? Hard to tell. Where are the sites at? Browse medications. Let's do this. Cetratide, Wegovy, Bevespi. I don't know any of these drugs. Have you guys heard of any of these? Chantix. I feel like I've heard of that. Hasn't that been on a commercial? Tocosin. Ooh, vaginal cream. This is what we should send to Tim Scott. Somebody tell Tim Scott he can get his vaginal cream much cheaper now because of TrumpRx. All right, there we go. It's all the drugs. It's cool, I guess. Cheaper drugs. Why not? So far, it's mostly diabetes meds. John, there's no ivermectin on here. Kyle. As far as I can see. Do they sell opium on TrumpRx? That's hilarious. They should. Yeah, this is good. A lot of people on diabetes, insulin is going to be cheaper. I think that's a win. Chantix was recalled years ago, a stop smoking drug. If it weren't for the constant pharma ads, you wouldn't know any of them. That's the thing we do need to fix is they need to get rid of pharmaceutical companies advertising their drugs on TV. That's what needs to stop. That would solve a lot of problems. I think it would cut the funding to a lot of these ridiculous media companies and their propaganda. I wish we could get a breakdown. I guess I've never actually looked into it, but like what percentage of, say, CNN or Fox News, what percentage of their revenue comes from pharmaceutical advertising? And how much of that, was string pulling during COVID? It would have been funny, troll, if they had Viagra promoted on there, especially with the Epstein stuff right now. Holy. My girlfriend just said her infusion meds are $20,000 a dose without insurance or assistance. That's insane. Go, dog, go. To be fair, quitting smoking always also makes you want to kill yourself. Ray Liotta quit smoking with Chantix. It is known. Keith Higgins, could vaginal cream be marketed as motion lotion? I don't know. Is that a product we need to pick up at Soft Disclosure? Some vaginal lotion? You guys are funny. What else do I got? I got a couple other stories. And if anybody wants to pop in and say hi, you can. I'll share the link again. There, it's in the chat. If anybody wants to pop in and say hi and bring a topic or something. Judicial Watch has obtained staff rosters for the special counsel Jack Smith. They said on Thursday that it secured the release of rosters identifying top deputies who worked for former special counsel Jack Smith. Records were released after Judicial Watch filed a May 2023 Freedom of Information Act lawsuit challenging the Biden Justice Department's refusal to provide staff rosters, phone lists, or similar records. The names released are, I wonder if any of these are, that's a lot of people. Greg Bernstein, Ahmed Bassett, Jay Bratt. Wait. Jay Bratt, wasn't he a Trump attorney? Why does his name sound familiar? Oh, that's right. He was the lead prosecutor. I think he might have been the guy that went to one of the defendants in the Mar-a-Lago case and was like, hey, if you roll on Trump, we'll give you a deal or something. I think he got in trouble for that. That's why his name's sticking out. Matt Burke, Joseph Cooney, Karen Drolla, Timothy Duree, Julie Edelstein, Gilbert, Hooray, Harbach. Yeah, none of these are really... And McNamara, that sounds familiar. Huh. Well, now we know. And all those people should be probably held accountable. But let's keep going. Sources say intelligence community targeting DNI Gabbard's Directors Initiative Group. Like I said, they've been targeting her pretty hot and heavy ever since the revelation that she was at the Fulton County raid. Investigative journalist Catherine Herridge reports that multiple credible sources say elements within the intelligence community, federal law enforcement, and Congress have targeted Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's Directors Initiative Group, known as the DIG, after the unit uncovered uncomfortable facts and findings that entrenched officials do not want to be made public. Does that shock anybody? According to Herridge's reporting, the push is focused on efforts to disband, dismantle, or diminish the impact of the DIG and its work. Herridge said she confirmed through multiple sources that a DIG report examining directed energy attacks, also known as anomalous health incidents or AHIs, was completed and prepared for release weeks ago, but is facing strong resistance within the intelligence community. This is exactly what they did back with the election. Executive Order 13848 requires the intelligence community to put forth assessments within 45 days of the election. And because there was resistance and disagreement, they didn't do anything until January 7th. It was due December 18th. They didn't do anything until January 7th when it was too late. And that's the letter that, when that came out, DNI John Ratcliffe wrote his letter in opposition, essentially. But this is interesting stuff. They don't want the report coming out. I want to see it. Gabbard launched a new review of the so-called Havana syndrome following Heritage's independent 2025 investigation. which reported that brain injuries affecting U.S. spies, diplomats, military personnel, and civilians are progressive and can lead to brain cell death and atrophy. I wonder if, like, do all liberals have Havana syndrome? Because I feel like there's been some brain cell death and atrophy amongst that group of people as well. S2G109 says, I have a clip of a public health officer saying they'll be using drone surveillance at the Super Bowl to monitor the crowds. That's interesting. Ash says, yeah, pharma ads off all screens. They can advertise to doctors, but not the public. Paul Super I'm in favor. But they're not going to do that because guess what? Not only does Big Pharma advertise on TV, but they also lobby to Congress. And so Congress would never implement a law that would undercut their own lobbyists. Never going to happen, but it's a great idea. You heard it here first. According to Grok, CNN receives 25% of its ad revenue from Big Pharma. Big Pharma spends approximately $5 billion on ads with the mainstream media as a whole. Take it for what? Wow, Prevost, that's a lot. That is a lot. Off and on. Caution with Viagra. It can produce a condition known as my dick's a trophy. That's hilarious. E.H. Kyle says, John, I did catch the judicial hearing on foreign countries imposing their laws and find on USA free speech on social media. It's quite interesting, except ions for the Dems being assets as well. Eons? Yeah, you know, I'm a little salty, I guess you could say, about that whole thing. Like, we had Congress do this entire report and investigation into how foreign countries like Europe and the, you know, European Union or whatever are suppressing our free speech. Where's the report about the ones in this country suppressing our free speech? Where's that report? Did I miss that one? What about all the people who got kicked off YouTube? We still can't even get monetized on YouTube. Still pending since November 17th. And there's no way to like get a hold of anybody. We get an error screen anytime we chat. Like, so we're growing over there. And I'm not even like, whether or not we get monetized, it is what it is. Like, I don't care. I just want a decision. But I mean, it would be nice to, you know, make another $50 to $100 over there every month and allow those people that watch over there that choose to watch there, because Rumble's not perfect. I get it. It'd be nice to allow them the opportunity to donate to the stream as well. But we don't get it. Oh, we got Jackie in the background. What is up, Jackie?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
So, not too bad. I got a package today.
Oh, is that a euphemism? Oh,
no, a good package. It's the Gusha.
that's the thing. Okay, so how do we use that? You just rub it on your neck?
No, you don't just rub it on your neck. There actually is now on the Soft Disclosure website, there is a how-to video.
Can you show me?
Yeah, I can show you. I mean, I can show you the video if you want.
Well, you got it right there. Show me how you do it.
Okay, so basically it's all about the lymphatic drainage, right? So you want to start from the bottom up because you want to basically give your place, like your stuff to actually leave your body.
Yeah.
So I like to start with the armpits, activate the lymph nodes in the armpits about 10 times each side.
Wow.
And then you go in and activate the lymph nodes like right on your collarbone.
It's like rub them?
Yeah, just literally like medium pressure, go in about like 10 times. And then you take your gusha or your gua sha and you just start from the middle of your chest and go out to your armpits so that you're taking all the liquid or whatever is in your chest, and it'll go to your lymph nodes so that it can leave your body. And then you do your neck on both sides of your neck 10 times, going down and behind your neck too.
That's crazy.
And then you do your, like, if you want like a snatched jaw, you take the little divot part,
yeah,
and it goes in from here. You go from your chin all the way up and down, and it just is going to continue to move all of the stuff around, and you keep going up on your face until you get to like your middle part here, and you get all the But yeah, it's literally there's a 1.5-minute video that shows you how to do the whole thing from start to finish using soft disclosure products.
Douchebags.
And there's Cam.
What's up, Cam? Hey, come prove to everybody I'm not racist because I have a black friend.
Hey Cam, can you come here for a second if you're wearing a shirt? Thanks. Can you come here for a second? We need to prove to the audience that you are in fact a black male and that you like John.
See, I'm not racist.
John, you're talking
What's
all
up,
this
man?
shit about Black History Month, man. I don't like it. I'm pretty upset about it.
I doubt it.
I actually heard what you said about being racist during Black History Month. I would argue that is when you can be the most. Everything you say is racist during Black History Month, and that's why it's okay.
It's a free pass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a free pass. Everybody's racist.
Heck
during
yeah.
Black History Month.
Are you gonna be on OnlyLens tonight, Cam?
Are you gonna be on OnlyLans tonight?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes, he'll be there.
Let me get out.
Now get out of here. I got to talk to Jackie. So
He said good. You need to leave.
Yeah.
So he can finish talking to me.
Hey, don't let me like that during Black History Month.
all right, Jackie. Bring a topic. What do you want to talk about real quick?
I mean, my topic was soft disclosure. Today is your last day to put in an order in order to get it in time for Valentine's Day. So order your her bundles, your him bundles, and
there you go. You know what? This would be a great opportunity to segue to the commercial. But you go ahead, keep talking.
I mean, basically that was it. Just get your soft disclosure, and you will not regret it. There's already been great reviews on the new her bundle in the GART chat, so definitely snag one while you still can and get it in time for Valentine's Day.
Awesome. I just got a box from Annie with some samples of potential future deodorant smells. Real excited. Some male version, like specific male scents. So we'll get there. But thanks, Jack, for coming on and play the soft disclosure ad real quick. And then
sounds good.
Keep going. Appreciate you.
The following ad is rated M for mature. Soft Disclosure wants you to get naked this Valentine's Day with limited edition his and her bundles that save you 20% off the individual retail prices. Proprietary oil infusions, grass-finished beef tallow, goat's milk from American goats, locally grown herbs and ingredients. Soft Disclosure is putting America First fruits on your skin.
And for these sexy bundles, we've added an all-new boar's haired beard brush and a solid jade gua sha. And the reason I'm here is because Alpha doesn't know how to say these words.
Gusha. His, hers. We need a moment to calm down. Don't hide your skin. Disclose it. Get naked this Valentine's Day with Soft Disclosure. Head over to softdisclosure.com and save 20% off individual retail prices with our his and hers customizable bundles and use promo code NAKED to save 15% off the rest of the site. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Promo code does not apply to bundle discounts.
Somebody in the chat earlier brought up ICE or maybe not ICE, but just drone surveillance being used at the Super Bowl. And I just saw this story on Politico. I want to pop up here real quick. That they are actually reviewing ICE's use of surveillance. ICE surveillance under review. Inspector General says lawmakers have been raising concerns about ICE's use of facial recognition, license plate readers, and databases on Americans. And if I'm being honest, like, I don't like this at all. And I'm saying like surveillance. Like, it's great that, we're trying to use it allegedly to get illegals out of the country, but I'm not in favor of our government having databases of people and then using it to track us in any way. And again, I know they're illegal aliens and it's different, but if you think this is all they're using it for, I have what's the quote? I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you or whatever. I'll sell you a bridge in Brooklyn, because they're definitely going to abuse us like they abuse everything else. I know there are good people in the intelligence community, but there's also a lot of bad ones too, as we just saw with the story of them trying to stonewall what D9 Gabbard's been doing. Anyway, the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General is investigating the use of facial recognition and the collection of citizens' personal data following flood of concerns about how ICE agents are interacting with protesters. Inspector General Joseph Kafari confirmed the internal investigation on Thursday in a letter responding to Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine's concerns about facial recognition and license plate readers being used against protesters in immigration enforcement operations. I guess my question would be, was there any of this that was done during the J6 protests? Because I'm pretty sure, didn't that come out? I mean, I know they tracked cell phone data and other things. And obviously they were fully in support of that then. So if anything, this is one of those things where it's exposing the hypocrisy. When your guys are using it for the thing that you support, when the red team's guys are using it for the red team agenda, it's awesome. But then when the blue team is using it for the blue team agenda, then it's bad. So these are the type of things where you just need to get to the foundational first principle of the matter. And to me, that is any government surveillance bad. Me no like, me no want. Let's not do that. That's where I'm at with that. See him. John totally forgot about his other black friend. Racist. Well, JB didn't show up in the background of Jackie's stream, so of course I'm going to forget about him. PJ Corrigan, that's what it is. I've got oceanfront property in Arizona. That's a good one. We have no sense of privacy, or we have no reasonable sense of privacy in public, says GA Nana 17. Q of Swords 3. John, if you want your mind blown, Google images for gua sha neck pain. It's hardcore. I'm an acupuncturist. I don't know why that's such a hard word to read. And used to do this. I don't know if I want to Google that. Cal says the blue team is doing it to the ICE officials. Edgar Friendly 23, the only reason they're against facial recognition is because you can target specific race and color. Otherwise, they would not care. Justin Goodearth says, does anyone else have Rumble shut down when you put your phone in your pocket? Sometimes. I think you have to, if you're a premium subscriber, I think that doesn't happen, but I could be wrong. Polymath and John has to import blacks for friends, none in North Dakota. That's true. I also don't ever leave my house in North Dakota. So if they do exist here, if the blacks are in this area, I have a very slim chance of meeting them. 12 Indie Boy, good to see Ty says, me no like government Overwatch either. More watchy, more baddie. Yes, that is the point. But here we are. Thanks a lot, Obama. It actually was George Bush. Actually, it was probably even further back than that. I wonder if we'll ever get to the bottom of that, of how long they've been surveilling us. I wonder if any of that's in the Epstein files. And we also have this Raskin, which I thought this guy, didn't he have cancer or something? I thought he was not to be insensitive, but I thought he was dying. But he's still kicking around, it seems. Raskin probes DOJ after Apple and Google blocked ICE tracking app. Democrats are challenging the administration's immigration crackdown in Minneapolis and its use of force against protesters. House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jamie Raskin is launching an investigation into claims that the Trump administration pressured Google and Apple into blocking apps tracking ICE agents. Which, by the way, even if they did do that, the entire purpose of the app is to interfere with law enforcement. And hold on. In one story, they're like, hey, ICE, we don't want you tracking people and using facial recognition. But then also, hey, why did you guys stop us from tracking ICE with this app? See what I mean? Hypocrisy all around. Anyway, in a letter obtained exclusively by Politico on Thursday, Raskin demanded the Justice Department turn over all records of its communications with Google and Apple related to discussions about apps that crowdsource sightings of immigration and customs enforcement officers. Democrats are challenging the Trump administration immigration crackdown in Minneapolis and its use of force against protesters, including the fatal shootings of Pretty and Good. Raskin dove in on these concerns in his letter to Pam Bondi. The coercion and censorship campaign, which ultimately targets the users of ICE monitoring applications, is a clear effort to silence this administration's critics and suppress any evidence that would expose the administration's lies. Screw you, Raskin. Let's check CNN real quick, see if there's anything. Oh, the Olympics are happening soon? When do those kick off? The only one I care to watch is hockey, but just curious. The Nancy Guthrie story is still front and center. What do you guys think of that? Do you think it's an op? I think like the consensus we've kind of formed on the back end is probably an op to like make MAGA look bad, considering whose mother it is. Maybe it's legitimate. I don't know. Maybe it's just a family feud. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. There's a ransom note. First deadline in the ransom note has passed. When's the last time somebody got away with using a ransom note successfully? You know what I mean? Like kidnapped somebody, ransomed them, got the money, left the person like they said, like the exchange went well, and then got away with it. Like, does that ever actually work? Because it seems like it wouldn't, especially with today's like tracking technology and stuff. It seems like it wouldn't work. Yeah, we're still getting stories of people using ransom notes. I don't buy it. Tracy Patriot says it starts today. The USA just beat the Canadians in curling. You know what? I do want to go curling. Back in gosh, when was it? This is gonna be so stupid. I don't remember how old I was. I want to say it was like I was in 5th grade, maybe. But North Dakota hosted the curling championships, the World Curling Championships or something, and each like grade at the school got to like host a team country, and my grade hosted Canada, but Canada ended up winning. But I remember that being such a big thing. They like did it at the big civic center here. You know what? I want to say I was actually like interviewed on TV. I wonder if I can find this. Hold for processing. Bismarck, North Dakota World Curling Championships. Gosh, when was that? I would have been. How old are people in 5th grade? Does anybody know? Like 10? I don't know, like 2000 and let's go with 10. No, not 2010. It would have been 2002. What am I thinking? Yes, it was 2002. I'm gonna do some digging on this. I could have swore, now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm pretty sure I had like I'm having so much fun on the news, local news. We do have curling leagues here in Bismarck. I'm not part of one, but I think it'd be so fun to go curling. It's like shuffleboard except on ice. I don't know why they call it curling. Badcurling.com. Any other stories? I don't know if I got anything really good. Nobody else called in, so I think it's a good spot to wrap her up. Now I want to go dig in and find that old video. But yeah, guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also, I'm going to send you over to Gordon's show. Make sure you tell him I say hi. And with that, I guess I'll be back on OnlyLands tonight. Probably the only other thing. 15 if you were held back a few years. All 6 people in Bismarck in the league. No, I know somebody in the league. One of my daughter's best friends in school, her dad is in a currently like at a birthday party not long ago. He's like, yeah, you should come play for us sometime. We always need subs. But all right, guys, I'll see you tonight on OnlyLands. Hit that thumbs up. You guys have a great rest of your Friday. And yeah, with that, we'll get out of here. I forgot. I did have a couple rants. I want to read those. Premature evacuation there. Simul10 says, in order to get real ID, you must show a birth certificate indicating you're a U.S. citizen. So that ID will work. You would need to present your birth certificate when voting. Yeah, I suppose. Is the SAVE Act requiring real ID or just an ID, a voter ID? Because I know a lot of these states, like there's an old clip that just surfaced from Joe Scarborough back in like the 90s or something, or early 2000s, shitting all over a Democratic candidate. No, I should find that clip. It's great. Because he's totally gone mentally insane now, or has been bought off. Who shared that? I think it was Kanakawa. Yeah, this is great. Take a listen to this.
Giving illegal immigrants tonight on Scarborough Country, a bill approved by the state of California giving illegal immigrants driver's licenses. Is this a desperate move by Democrats to keep Gray Davis in office at the expense of national security? Tonight, we look at the left coast's most endangered politician, Governor Gray Davis, and his Democratic Party's latest attempts to show illegal aliens that crime pays. The Democratic legislature has actually passed a bill out of committee that allows illegal immigrants to get a California's driver's license. That's right. And by giving these criminals the most accepted form of identification in America, the California Democrats buy votes for themselves. And it looks like, to me at least, that political gamemanship is trumping national security. As illegal immigrants are given a free pass, this plan seems to me to legitimize illegal immigration once and for all. And it's dangerous, and it owes more to winning votes for politicians than keeping our country safe from future terror attacks. It's frightening, folks. Aren't we sending a message to illegal immigrants? Break our laws, come into our country, flood over the borders, and we're going to reward you by giving you a driver's license. They're breaking the law. It's that simple. If you break the law, you shouldn't get a driver's license. You shouldn't be in our country. Now, if you want your voice heard on this issue, you can send a note to Governor Gray Davis and tell him if this bill crosses his desk, he should veto it.
Cogent. How cogent of him back then. What a douche. That's from 2003, guys, by the way. S2G 109 shared a video of the drone thing. We should watch that real quick.
And postings to let people know that this is the situation that's going on and we want them to be safe.
What is a death cap mushroom outbreak? Death cap mushroom? What?
Super Bowl has been a big topic lately, and probably not as well thought of, but we are working with some of our surrounding jurisdictions, San Francisco and Santa Clara, figuring out how we're going to monitor any illnesses or outbreaks or something that happens due to a large number of people coming in, and they're going to events and they're in closed, confined areas, and there's the potential for, transmitting illnesses and things like that. So we're working with our neighbors to use syndromic surveillance to monitor kind of real time as best we can what's happening and notify people if we start to pick up on something. And then the last thing is measles. Real time as best we
Dronic or syndromic?
use syndromic surveillance to monitor and things like that. So we're working with our neighbors to use syndromic surveillance.
See, I think it says syndromic surveillance. I don't know if that's drones. Syndromic surveillance. It uses automated data from sources such as emergency departments, clinics, over-the-counter sales to track syndromes, clusters of symptoms like fever and respiratory issues. And it enables public health officials to spot unusual patterns quickly, aiding responses to threats. Because, why do they use drones to monitor a death cap mushroom outbreak? How would that work? You're going to spot somebody eating the death cap mushroom? Which, by the way, I kind of want to look up what that looks like. What is a death cap mushroom? I mean, I feel like it's common knowledge. Hey, don't eat the death cap mushroom. Oh, but man, that just looks like every other mushroom. Look at that. I can see how people get confused. This deadly mushroom features a pale green or yellowish cap, white gills, a white ring on the stem, and a bulbous base. I love the word bulbous. With a vulva sac. That's a little more gross, I guess. Often grows near oak trees or imported hardwoods. Do people still just go walking around outside and be like, oh, there's a mushroom. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat that. I don't even like mushrooms in my pizza. It's I'm going to be pretty safe, I think, from the death cap mushroom outbreak of 2026. The only mushrooms I do take, I guess, are the mushroom vibe ones, one a day. Bathy Dave says, don't eat wild mushrooms if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Okay, and then the last Rumble rant we got from Keith O'Higgins for, I heard most lesbians have 69 ways to acquire snatched jaw. That is a good one. Maybe there's something on the TrumpRx website that can fix snatched jaw. Who knows? But anyway, thanks everybody. Sending you over to Ghost. You guys have a great rest of your Friday. I'll see you tonight on Only Lands.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me? Stopping me.